The drums echoed across Nwande village as the elders prepared for the yearly council meeting. Banners hung from tall palm poles, children danced near the stream, and the smell of roasted yam drifted through the dusty air. The people were joyful, everyone except Obidike. Tall, broad-shouldered, with eyes full of fierce ambition, Obidike walked through the village like a king without a crown. His voice shook the air wherever he went. For years he had dreamed of becoming the chief of Nwande, a title that came with honor, wealth, and respect. But dreams alone were not enough. The elders believed a chief must be humble. Obidike, he was anything but humble. Still, he believed he deserved the throne more than any man alive. In the village square, Elder Nwoko raised his staff and spoke. Elder Nwoko, people of Nwande, the time has come. In 3 moons a new chief will be chosen. Whispers spread through the crowd. Obidike stepped forward boldly. Obidike, you need not look far, I am ready. Laughter rippled across the villagers. Even children giggled. Woman in crowd. Chief, you? When you cannot even greet your elders properly? Obidike clenched his jaw. His pride burned. Later that evening, Obidike stormed into the council hut. Obidike, why must I be mocked? Name your tests, elders. I will pass them all. Elder Nwoko stroked his gray beard. Elder Nwoko, you want to lead men, yet you cannot even lead your own heart. If you wish to be chief, prove your worth. Obidike, I will. Tell me what to do. The elders exchanged glances. Elder Nwoko, to be chief, you must protect the people, serve the weak, and conquer your pride. Obidike frowned. I said challenge me, not preach to me. Elder Nwoko, very well, your test begins at dawn. The following morning, the elders led Obidike to the deepest part of the forest. Elder Nwoko, guard the farmers from the wild boar that has been attacking. Obidike scoffed. 1 animal? This is your great test? He stood proudly, spear in hand. Hours passed until the beast appeared, huge, furious, charging. Obidike froze for a second, his pride replaced by fear. A farmer shouted, "Move, it will kill us!" But Obidike, recovering his courage, jumped between the farmers and the beast. The boar lunged at him. He dodged, stabbed, rolled, and finally brought it down. The farmers cheered. But Obidike, he raised his spear proudly, shouting, "Obidike, praise me, tell the elders what I did." The farmers exchanged uneasy looks. A hero, yet too hungry for praise. The next day, the elders brought him to the home of Mama Chinai, an elderly widow. Elder Nwoko, help her rebuild her fallen hut. Obidike frowned in disgust. Obidike, I am no carpenter. Give me a warrior's task. Elder Nwoko, service his strength, begin. Reluctantly he worked. He chopped wood, lifted heavy beams, repaired walls, sweating under the sun. Mama Chinai handed him water. Mama Chinai, thank you, my son. Obidike waved her off. Obidike, do not thank me. Thank the elders who forced me. Mama Chinai's face fell. He completed the hut, but not the lesson. On the 3rd day, the elders stood waiting in the square. Elder Nwoko, this final task is simple. Apologize to every villager you have insulted. Obidike's eyes widened. Obidike, you ask too much. Elder Nwoko, and yet you ask to be chief. For hours, Obidike stood still, trembling with rage. This was harder than fighting a wild boar. Finally, he stormed out. Late at night, Obidike sat alone in his compound. His pride whispered in his ear, why ask for respect when you can take it? He hatched a plan, foolish, dangerous, desperate. He would steal the sacred crown from the shrine. If he placed it on his head, some believed the spirits would make him chief by force. But touching the crown was forbidden, punishable by exile or death. Yet his desire burned hotter than the law. Under the cover of darkness, Obidike slipped into the sacred grove. The moonlight fell on the shrine, casting long shadows. Sweat dripped down his neck as he whispered, Obidike, I deserve this throne. He reached for the golden crown. Before his fingers touched it, a deep voice echoed, Elder Nwoko, Obidike. The torches lit up around him. The entire council was there. He had been caught. Obidike dropped to his knees in shock. Obidike, it is my destiny. You all know I am worthy. Elder Nwoko, worthy? A chief does not steal power, he earns it. A chief does not take without permission, he asks. Chief does not stand above his people. he stands with them. Obidike felt his heart pound. The truth struck him harder than any punishment. At dawn, he was brought before the whole village. Elder Nwoko spoke. Elder Nwoko, Obidike attempted to steal the sacred crown. By our laws, he deserves exile. Gasps filled the crowd. Obidike bowed his head for the first time, in shame rather than pride. But Elder Nwoko raised his staff. Elder Nwoko, yet I see a man who is not evil, only lost. Instead of exile, we give him one more chance. The villagers murmured. Obidike looked up in disbelief. Elder Nwoko, for the next moon cycle, you will serve the village. Not as a warrior, but as a helper. You will carry water, clean the square, assist the elderly, and work the fields. Only when you learn humility will the spirits judge you again. Obidike swallowed hard. This was harder than punishment, but something in him broke, something heavy, something proud. He whispered, Obidike, I accept. For weeks, Obidike served silently. He helped farmers without boasting. He carried water without complaining. He rebuilt homes with a soft heart instead of harsh words. The villagers began to see a new man. Even children who once feared him now followed him around, laughing. Mama Chinai watched him sweep the square one morning. Mama Chinai, my son, your heart is becoming stronger than your muscles. Obidike smiled softly, his first humble smile in years. On the day of the final judgment, the elders gathered once more. Elder Nwoko placed his hand on Obidike's shoulder. Elder Nwoko, Obidike, you have changed. Now we ask the spirits. The sacred drum was beaten 3 times. A breeze swept through the square. The crown was lifted, and to Obidike's shock, it was placed on his head. The people cheered. Elder Nwoko, you wanted to be chief out of pride, but now you become chief out of humility. Obidike bowed deeply, not from obligation, but gratitude. Obidike, I will lead Nwande, not with pride, but with a servant's heart. And so the man who once tried to steal the crown finally earned it the right way.